Welcome back to the Fuel Yourself audio cast. I'm your host, Shawana Mays, certified holistic life and wellness coach who teaches women how to build the skill of unstoppable follow through when it comes to their goals so that no matter what is happening in their lives, they can finally continue without quitting on themselves. Ah, that was a mouthful. Listen, I am finally getting this like so fine tuned so you can like really understand how I can help you, sis. All right. So here we are, episode number 34, and I want to speak on the topic about leaving yourself out. I am so passionate about this topic because I feel like it weighs so heavily on a lot of people, especially us women, because I've spoken with so many women on this topic for years and years. All right. So there's a world that most of us live in. It's a world that I've also lived in. And I didn't see the other side of this world until I actually took the steps to change my life and have it look the way that I wanted it to look. All right. So let me explain what I mean by that. I'll start by saying, like, I had heard so much growing up that when women have kids and get married, and I'm saying it in that order because that was my life, it might not be yours, but I had kids and then I got married. It's said that your life is no longer yours, and it's pretty much your duty to only be a caregiver going forward. Now, I became a mom at the age of 20, and immediately I fell into that belief of only being a caregiver after years of hearing it either from family members and seeing it shown on TV that way. The crazy thing is, my mom had never said those words to me, and she never showed up in her life that way, which would make me think that that belief was true. Like she never showed up in a way that made me actually believe that. I'm thinking about this, like, this is so wild. I didn't see her display that behavior at all. But listen, this just goes to show you how powerful other people and TV programming can be. I mean, come to think of it, as far as I can remember, my mom, she ate healthy. She ate as healthy as she knew how to eat. And she was like always working out in front of the TV and also managing to take care of us at the same time. Listen, this revelation at this moment is crazy to me because I completely bypassed my mom's actions and I listened to other people and the social conditioning. It's just so wild to me, but it happened. So, anyway, the thoughts of you pretty much have to drop everything you want and need and cater to the kids until they grow up and leave the house is like, it's just so bogus. And I see that now because depending on how many kids you have, that can be years and years and years away. And as women, we don't even think about how much lack of care for ourselves can happen over the course of that time and how it could impact our lives in such a negative way. We just keep up with that same non serving belief. So in my life, the years went by. I stayed tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, dreaming about something more outside of being a mom and a wife. But that belief was so strong, I tucked what I wanted away from myself because I didn't know any better. But I woke up every day helping everyone in the household achieve any and everything they wanted and needed. At that time, I didn't even see myself as everyone. The only person that was asking me what I wanted and needed was that little whisper in my mind. That was me. Let me say this. There were some moments in my life, prior to that moment that I did actually commit to taking care of myself, that I would like try, quote unquote, to take care of myself. I would sporadically try to change my eating lifestyle, but I really didn't have any guidance there. I didn't know how to do that. I was so used to soul food. I would sporadically visit the gym, but I never stuck to it because in those moments I would actually have the mom guilt because I was already spending hours at work and then on top of that, leaving the family again just to go to the gym. Yes, that wasn't the greatest feeling because of my thoughts about it. So of course, I didn't last long. I would quit. And I did that for years. 14 years for my oldest and 11 years for my youngest kid. That was years of me fully believing that I was no longer a human with goals, dreams, and desires. At least that's what it felt like because of what I chose to believe. Because I didn't even know that I could believe something different. Like, this is not something that we are taught, right? So, in other words, it was years of me leaving myself out of the equation of the human experience just because I became a mom. Now, at the age of 37, 36, now 47, as I record this, I finally listened to that little whisper in my mind to implement the change that kept nudging inside of me. And I just decided to believe something different. And that new belief was I could still raise my family and take care of my own wants and needs. And that thought just happened to come to me simply because I saw so many women doing it. I was like, why can't I? It's obviously possible, right? But that thought allowed me to find a solution based on how my home operated, not comparing myself to the next woman and how she was doing it, but actually figuring out how to shape my life around what I wanted for myself. I knew it was possible. I just knew it was possible. Again, there's just was so many women that I was watching on social media with families and jobs achieving exactly what I wanted to achieve. So one day I had my FTS moment. Now, if you didn't already know, I don't curse. So I want you to hear me when I say I had my FUCK, this SHIT moment, FTS. And I decided to no longer leave myself out. What's wild is when you finally make a decision instead of going back and forth in your brain about it, you actually finally make the decision and you decide that the results that you want are going to happen no matter what, and you get solid with that decision, something changes in your brain and in your body that creates this unconditional commitment. There's like this energetic shift with those three words, no matter what. So I want you to try those three words on. If you have a goal, just insert whatever goal that you have today. All right. And I want you to add the words no matter what. I want you to keep practicing. Even if you don't take action right now, just keep practicing saying, I am going to reach this goal of XYZ no matter what. I want you to notice what comes up in your body. Like, how do you feel speaking those words, thinking that thought? Figure out what comes up for you and explore that. Okay. Now, if you've been a woman who's been leaving herself out of the equation, especially if you have goals, dreams, and desires, like everyone else in the world, even if you are a mom and or a wife, again, just ask yourself why you believe your goals and dreams and desires don't matter, but everyone else's does. Again, see what thoughts that bring up for you. It'll tell you a lot about how you think about yourself. Now, if this episode spoke to you, I will always invite you to go deeper with this work with me, especially if this is something that you currently struggle with and you no longer want to struggle. Let's get on a consultation together. It's free, and we'll see what's holding you back from creating your outcomes. And then we can see also if we'd be a good fit to work together long term. All right. So you can book that consultation through my website at www.royalrenewal.info. And for now, I'm wishing you so much peace and so much ease and a whole lot of love. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.